I started, I was 4 years old. I was a children, small. And now I have pigeon 49 years. Whole my life I raise pigeon. And in 1998 I start with a new line. I have a little money and I buy a good pigeon. I have a good experience in the pigeon sport, and everybody needs good pigeon for good performance. And I started. I buy good pigeon and it's going higher, higher, higher. And the first time was 1998. I was the first time world champion and the first national champion from Germany. And the next 10, 12 years I was 8 times the first national champion in Germany and 4 or 5 times Olympic gold medal winner. And I win more than 10 different cars, Rolls Royces, a lot of famous cars. And the name is going up in the last 20 years in the highest level in the world. My pigeon race good in a lot of countries, in Europe, in China, in the Arabian countries. And I think this is important. When you sold pigeon, you must have interesting for good quality, and the fanciers have good records with this pigeon. And then it's going. Only advertising, only advertisement, it's not enough in the pigeon sport. Every year you need records. In 2019, this last season, I have a special hen, the name Zabeel Saray, was 4 times the first in 4 weeks. This is a great record, great record. From average maybe 3,000 pigeon, and I'm also, I think, in 2019, the best loft in Germany with young birds. I have a fantastic racing season with young birds. I send it 4 races and I make 3 races 100% and another one I make 85, and sometimes from 1 to 9 to 10. It's, yes, was very good. And it's a lot to do every day in the pigeon sport. The pigeon sport goes more professionals. The guys goes older and we have not so much pigeon like 10 years before. We have maybe 10,000 and now we have 2,000 or 3,000. And yes, the weather is changing, it's coming hot, and the race management in Germany, it's not allowed races after 30 degrees, it's not allowed. And then you must change sometimes the race from 500 kilometers to 300, from 300 to 500. It's difficult. And was an old line from Fabry. It's a very old line from Belgium. I buy this for 25 German marks. Was 35 years before, a long time. And I was young, I don't have money, and I think about every time for good pigeon. And I go with a bicycle to good Fancier, 35 kilometers. It's a long way for me. 1 hour I go and have a small money for pigeon. And then I buy this. And was 1980. I win the first gold medal from a 700 kilometer race. This was my first success with new pigeon. And then it's coming up. And every time in my life I raise pigeon. I was a fanatic guy for pigeon. And I think I will make the first time German national champion, I will make world champion, Olympic champion. And all these things I win in my history. A Drapa name in the pigeon sport, it's like Adidas, like Louis Vuitton. Everybody knows me around the world. And for me it's also important, the other fanciers have good records with my pigeon. I was the first guy in Beijing, in the Pioneers Club. It's the biggest club around the world. The prize money is in 1 year sometimes 85 to 95 million euro, the prize money. And I have the first ice pigeon 5 years ago. And everybody talk about, Drapa sent pigeon to China, the first S pigeon. And this is not so easy, sending pigeon to China. We have a quarantine in Europe, we have quarantine in China. The pigeon comes young, sometimes the pigeon goes sick. It's not so easy for the pigeon from Europe to China. For breeding, it's different than to race, you know. And I have the first S pigeon, and my friends also have beautiful records. The last year we have a race from 550 kilometers, and in China important is the gambling. The people like gambling and gamble a lot, spend a lot of money for gambling. And this race, the pigeon come from 520 kilometers, like 100 kilometers. In 20 minutes, more than 30 pigeon arrive. And I think we make more than 3 million euro in 20 minutes. And this is every time the old line. Sometimes I buy a special one, a national S pigeon for a lot of money, and put it in my line. I cross with my pigeon. My line, it's King and Queen, was from 1998 I started. And then every year I breed more. I make inbreed and the family breed, and then I put another line inside, a little another blood I change, and then it's going good, perfect. The pigeon also, it's perfect for breeding. Maybe a fancy have a good line and put my pigeon inside for cross, it's good, perfect. Secret? No, it's not secret. I think the special fanciers have good feelings for the champion birds. A lot of fanciers have perfect pigeon. Only the management, it's not so good. You must check the pigeon every day, you know, and you must check how is the race the next week. The race was hard, the pigeon need more vitamins, more amino acids, and the sport, it's very important in the management. I think around the world we have a lot of special pigeon. Only the management is not special. I have maybe Flitzer was an important pigeon. I sold this pigeon to Japan. Was Olympic champion, gold medal winner, and 9 times the first prize winner from 6,000 average. This is a special one, the highest level in the world. And I sold this to Japan. And this guy have also 6-7 S pigeon in 6-7 years from this pigeon. Good pigeon, good fancier, it's going. It's not secret. All the pigeon sport, it's open for everybody. When you spend a lot of energy, when you spend a lot of time, you train the pigeon, you manage the pigeon, then you come up. Sometimes the people think, okay, I buy expensive pigeon and I come champion in a shortly time. No, never. You can go to the market. I buy one pigeon for 45, 55 German marks, like gift, was nothing. I go around and was maybe 7,000-8,000 pigeon in this market, was open. A big place in a small country, in a small city, and I go around, look the baskets, and I come to an old guy, was 82 years old. I have 3 pigeon, 3. I look this pigeon, I think, it's good one. I say, how much? All together it's 100 German mark. I say, okay, I put it together with the basket. Close, I take this. This was the first world champion. The first world champion. The most expensive pigeon this time. And the sister was the first national S pigeon from Germany. This pigeon was more than 500,000 euro. And I buy for 45 euro. And this is the thing what I say. You check the pigeon and you go inside and I can put the good ones. My first time I go to the good fancier. I stay on my place. I look a half hour, only look, take a look. And after I say I take this, this one. And then, oh no, this not. I say, excuse me. I ask you, what's the system? I say, okay, you can go and you check, and what you want you can buy. I say, okay, and I buy the best one. Was my best pigeon ever. It was 1988. And this was basically for my line now. I was 18 years old and I buy my first Porsche car. The first Porsche I buy from money from Pigeon. For me, I like races from 100 to 400 kilometers. I like races, the pigeon come back in shortly time, you know. I don't like waiting 2 hours, 3 hours. When the first coming, I wait 2 hours, 3 hours for the next one. I don't like these races. And I don't like bad races. When the pigeon, I lose pigeon, I don't like. And I have the problem in the moment in Europe, the fancier lose a lot of pigeon. I don't know what's the problem. The people talk about these problems, a lot of sickness, a lot of this, a lot of... I don't know what's happened. I don't lose pigeon. I lose in 20 races, 12 from 83. It's not so much, it's a normally. And I don't lose pigeon on the racing. I lose pigeon on the training. When I go alone, we have some problems with hawks and falcons. And the pigeon have attacks. When I fly home, the hawks coming and catch my pigeon. This is the mostly problem what I have in the racing season. And I like also races from 400, 500 and 600 kilometers when the weather is okay. For breeding, I put some liquid on the food and I mix it. And then I put minerals. This is the name Mineral 03 or a special mineral and multi-top together. And I do this 4 or 5 times in 1 week in the breeding. I think, you know, the pigeon, it's born like this. It's very small. In 1 week, it's go like this, and in 30 days, it's coming big, very fast. And only with simple food, you cannot bring a good quality from the body. The pigeon need different things, important things, minerals for the bones, minerals for the muscles, for all this in a shortly time. Maybe a horse needs 3 years, 4 years, it's coming complete. The pigeon, it's in 30, 35 days big. And after 45 days, flying. And when you give not a good quality of food, a good quality of supplements, the pigeon have 75% only. And never come a champion like this, never. And I think a lot of for a good quality in supplements, a good quality in food, and I think it's also very important in the pigeon sport, the beginning. The pigeon is born and you can work in this time when the pigeon comes big with good food, with everything. And then after you see the records. I'm trying so many different things in the last 25, 35 years. And now I know without supplements, without vitamins, without minerals, it's going nothing. The quality of the corn, the food for the pigeon, it's not the same like 20 years before. The quality goes down. And then you need something for the for the good quality, for the good food, especially for breeding, and also for racing. In the racing sport, in the highest level of the sport, all the guys, all the animals need help, you know. You give him a good vitamin, you give minerals. The normally people goes to marathon, drink a lot of electrolyte. The body needs this for the power. Also the pigeon. The pigeon need a liquid like lecithin. I have a special one. I give this in 1 week 4 or 5 times. And the pigeon have a reserve for flying and can fly maybe 6, 7, 8, 10 hours the same speed. And this is also important. The pigeon need energy for flying a long time. Especially in countries, the people like long distance races after 5, 6, 700 kilometers. And this is also so important, the management and the food and the supplements for the pigeon, especially for the long distance races. Ways goes to the highest level, you know. Sometimes you go a wrong way and you see in a shortly time, this way it's not good. I cannot go more faster forward. And I think the fastest way to a good records, it's a simple, it's a logistic, you know, a logic. You think what the pigeon need and you buy this and you try it. And after 1 year, you see what's good for your pigeon. I do the same every year. Sometimes I buy a new product. The last year I buy a new product, it's a very high level. And I try it. I give it 1 time, I look the pigeon, I give it a 2nd time, I give it more time, and I see the pigeon, the body becomes more bigger, the power comes more bigger. The color of the feathers was more black, more pigments on the feather. And for the starters, when the pigeon fancier started the pigeon sport, keep the contact to the professionals. When you talk about with normally guys, nobody can teach you, nobody can learn you. The professionals, only you can learn from the professionals. From the normally, you don't can. Never. And the people think about, this is secret. My pigeon doing good. I don't talk about this with another guys, you know. For me, for a lot of professionals, it's not so important. When the guys call me and say, I have a big problem, my pigeon goes sick. I say, okay, my friend, send me the address. I send a small package for you, and you give it 3 days and everything is good. Really? I say, of course, try. After 4 days, this guy called me, what's happened? You are so famous in the pigeon sport, you know everything? I say, no, this is a long experience in the pigeon sport. And when it's a normally thing, and I have experience in this, I can help you. When it's coming new, I need time for check what can I doing for this problem. Now the pigeon have maybe herpes. It's a difficult sickness. I have injections for this. I do this and the problems, it's not finished the problems. Okay, it's not finished. Maybe from 100, 3 pigeon goes died. Before from 125 goes died. Okay, 22 more down, it's good. It's a good thing. And I do this. I put the injections in the same time when the pigeon is 35 days old. Not when the pigeon is 3, 4, 5 months. It's too late. Directly when I put the young.
Can you give some name of your world famous pigeon and what's the result?
The results of my famous pigeon.
Name.
I have a lot of special pigeon. This was Karl, Flitzer, Cem, Maya, many more. And the pigeon, every year I have a new superstar. Yeah, this was all the same line. And I buy also special breeders and give me also champions again. And for me, the good pigeon is the first prize. It's very important for me. I'm waiting for the champion pigeon, I'm waiting for the first prize. And in the history of my pigeon sport, I have more than 35 good pigeon, special pigeon, national champions, Olympic champions, world champions. And I breed young birds from this. Normally I don't sell this pigeon. I have a lot of questions, how much this, how much this, how much this. I don't sell. Sometimes I do this, maybe 25 years before. Now not. Now I keep for myself. And yeah, was a lot of national champions, a lot of international champions in the last 25 years. It's a long history in my pigeon sport.
Who is Skyfighter?
Skyfighter, it's in Japan. It was 2007. Yes, 2007. A special guy from Belgium asked me a lot of, please sold this pigeon to my friend in Japan and this. I said, no, I don't sell. The sale was fixed. It was the 23 December 2007 was fixed. Give me a call and say how much and give me a price. I say, okay, for this price I do this. And the next day was Christmas. And my family asked me, you do this, really? I say, of course. It was a lot of money. I do this. No. Also, Mr. Hassan, no, don't do this. And then I called this agent and I canceled. And this was sad, so sad. What you doing? To cancel this business? I say, of course, sorry, I cancel this. Finished. And then every month, 6-7 months, every month call me, you change your mind, you change your mind. I say, no, I don't change my mind. The pigeons stay in my loft. When you have interest, you can buy young birds. It's a little expensive, of course, and you need the best, you pay the best. No, okay. And I sold around the world, especially in China, for a lot of money, 5,000-6,000 for one young bird. It's a lot of money. And then was 26th, 27th of August. And this guy called me again. It was very hot. I cleaned my loft and I think, shit, it's too hot, I have a lot to do. And this guy called me. I say the name. Okay, what's happened? Please, this guy, it's stay there in Belgium and buy the first international Barcelona. And also have interesting in this pigeon. I say, what's the price? Same? Yes, same. Okay, finished. Deal is finished. I sold. And then this guy say, okay, send me please, not like the last time. Straight, huh? I say, okay, finished. I sold. And then I go to Belgium together with my friend, was 75 years old, my friend. and never see this before. A lot of money in the case, put and go. And this agent from Japan sit down, and I talk with him. I say, "Your customer, it's a crazy guy, huh?" "Yes, of course. It's so crazy. Give me a paper. No number. How much? Tell Drapa how much, and then you put and you give him." And this was the expensive pigeon in the world. Mostly expensive. It's in Japan.
What's the race result of Skyfighter?
The race records of Skyfighter. We have in all the histories in Germany, we have 2 pigeons with 10 times the first prize. 10 times the first prize. This is one pigeon from Mr. Günter Prange. It's also one of the biggest names in Europe, around the world, I think. And Skyfighter. Skyfighter make in 3 years 10 times the first prize, from 3,000–4,000 average. And it's also a direct daughter from Penelope, and Penelope it's a nest made from Messi. Also the old line. Skyfighter, it's an inbreed pigeon. Pokerface and Penelope. And the grandfather, it's Champ. It's a pigeon, champion pigeon from me from 2002. And this gives me a lot of champions. And then the families go every year. Now I have a directly daughter from Skyfighter. 4 races, 3,000 average, 4 times the first. It's the best middle distance pigeon in the moment in Germany. I think around the world, the best one. It's a directly from Skyfighter. And then after 7 races, after 7 races I stopped this pigeon. I never send it to racing. I talk with my friends say, "You crazy? You have the special one you have, 4 times the first? Keep it in your loft, breed young birds, it's the best." And I started breeding together with Pokerface the first time. And I have 2 young birds, it's the band number, ring number 1 and number 2. And then I put it together with Bolt. I have 4 young birds, perfect pigeon. I'm happy now with this. And my friend race also with my pigeon. Have the best young bird in the world. 5 races, 5 times the first place. Average 1,300, 1,400 pigeon. And this is not a normally record. 5 races, 5 times the first. It's good. Also from Pokerface, inbreed with Cassandra. The inbreed pigeon from my family doing good. A lot of lines, inbreed lines. It's not so good. It's good for breeding, not good for racing. And I send inbreed pigeon to racing and perfect records.
You race from 100 to 700.
Yes. We started with 170 kilometers, the first race in the end of the April. And the last race, it's the end of the July. It's 650 to 700 kilometers. The system in Germany, we have some problems in the winter time. The pigeon cannot fly on the loft. The pigeons stay from end of September to beginning of April, not flying. And you have only a shortly time for training, for prepare the pigeon for racing. And then you start it short, and you go every week more, 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers, 55 kilometers more. And then at the end of the season you have 1 races with 550 kilometers and 600, 650 kilometers. And I think the system is good.
You don't play in extreme long distance like 1,200 kilometers, Barcelona?
I can't. It's a problem for me. I live in the Black Forest, and the line to Barcelona, it's coming hills maybe 3,000, 4,000 meters high. And the pigeon fly not the directly way. I have 999 kilometers from Barcelona, and this is a straight line. The pigeon don't go straight, the pigeon fly in the left side from the hills. And then 1,200. I have no chance for long distance. No chance. win a lot of things. And for me, the mostly important was world champion. Was the mostly important things. I forget so many championships, you know, every year, a lot of. I go to this country, I win this, I win this, I win this, I forget. And also very important is the Olympic gold medal winner. This is an international competition. All the fanciers around the world send the best pigeon every 2 years to a place, sometimes in Poland, sometimes in Germany, sometimes in Spain, in different countries. And this is also very important when all the big guys, big fanciers come to a special place and looks for the champion. And I'm the champion in the middle distance a long time. I have in 1 year in the middle distance I have the first and the second place. Nobody have this. And in the history I have 15 Olympic pigeon. Nobody have this around the world. Nobody. And this is the important, the international. Now, of course, German champion. I'm 8 times German champion. It's also good. And I have also maybe more than 20, 25 national S pigeon in the last 20 years. It's good. It's perfect. And it's only Germany. And I want international. This is important for me. And this was in 1998 my first big championships was world champion. And this pigeon was E.T. The name was E.T. I buy this pigeon in Belgium for 35, 55 German marks. Was nothing. And this was one time. This pigeon was 1 year old. Was world champion number 3, and then the biggest agent around the world called me, how much this pigeon, and I waiting for this call. This time was the starting for the business, you know. I waiting for this call, and it's coming. It was evening 9 o'clock, and this guy called me, how much is this pigeon? I say, I don't know. No, I don't say. I say directly, no, it's not for sale. Why? All is for sale. It's only a question for the price. I say no, sorry, not for sale. Okay, finished. And then the next year, this pigeon comes, the first world champion, first. And then I think about the sale. A lot of people call me, please, how much? And I think, for so much money, it's not real, I keep the pigeon for myself. And this was a Belgian pigeon. And then I sold. And I buy my first BMW. The first 728 was my first BMW. I buy this 1999 for 65,000. This was the starting from the high level. And then every year, it's going more and more and more. I have ice pigeon, I have this, I have this. Vitamins. I have a special mind for vitamins and for supplements in the pigeon sport. I don't look for advertisements for companies, for other companies, for advertisement. I don't look. I have my mind especially for the preparing for pigeon, for the racing. And I started my brand, Drapa products. I look in the horse races, what's happened in the horse races for vitamins, for minerals, for this, and bring it slowly for the pigeon sport. I do my brand. And I use this. You have 3 situations, you know, when the pigeon goes to race, when the pigeon comes back, and the molting and the breeding. And you need different things in these periods, you know. For breeding, you need amino acids, minerals, maybe 3 times, 4 times in the week. And the racing, you have different races. You have 1,100 meter speed and you have 1,800 meter speed. And this is not the same. When the pigeon flies 1,800 meter, don't lose energy. The pigeon comes back and it's good condition. You don't need a lot of products for come back a good situation, you know, you don't need. Another situation is the pigeon come back, it's hot and headwind, the pigeon is tired, come inside like this, and then you need help for the pigeon. And then you need the good products. Go fast in the bloodline and the pigeon come back in a good condition in a shortly time. And this is also what I say, it's a management. This is also management. Every time we have different problems with pigeon. The pigeon goes sick in a shortly time and goes tired in a shortly time. Nobody knows what's happened. Talk about this is the problem, this is the problem. Only talking. Nobody find the problem. And it's also a problem when a lot of pigeons don't come back from the race. Sometimes in a competition we have 2,000 pigeons and this comes back only 1,400. In one race lose 600. This is a problem. The problem is the pigeon fanciers don't see the pigeon is sick. The pigeon looks good. Okay, basketing, send it to race. And the pigeon is sick. And this problem coming more and more in the pigeon sport, in all the countries around the world. I think started with breeding. It's very important you prepare the pigeon for breeding. I need also medicine, maybe 10 days before start the breeding, and I can see the condition from the pigeon comes good. And the results from the breeding also good. And this is what I mean. A lot of people put a pigeon together. It's no eggs, no young birds inside the eggs, and the young birds, it's not coming big. Yes, it's also big problem for the management. I make a system for me, for myself, and give it to my manager. I say, look, you give this medicine from 1st of April to 5 of April. After, from 5 of April to 10 of April, you give this. And I clean the pigeon inside, and then I started. Same for racing. In Germany, the pigeons stay in the loft 5-6 months, every day. They cannot fly outside. We have some problem with hawks and falcons, and it's not going. I lose a lot of pigeon in the winter time. And then the pigeon goes a little sick. And I prepare this with a good medicine. We have good medicine in Europe. We have. And then you can see the pigeon in one day flies 20 minutes, then coming 25, 35 minutes, and then fly 1 hour. And when the pigeon flies 1 hour with speed, okay, it's ready for training. Then I started training. I started 10 kilometers and I go up to 25, 35, and the 5 times I goes to 100 kilometers. And then every day I go 100 kilometers. I train the pigeon from 100 kilometers, and in the races, maybe also 3 days in the week, 2 times 100 kilometers and 2 times 45, 50 kilometers. And then you see the condition is coming, the pigeon is not tired when the pigeon come back, and the condition and the level comes more higher. And I think you need a good medicine management for the highest level in the racing sport in the pigeon. You need, everybody needs. Think about what you need, what you want, and then go the way straight. You can hear a lot of things right and left, what's good for the pigeon, and you keep the best for yourself. when you hear a lot of things, okay, this is good for me, I try this, I try this, I try this. No, try a lot of things. Go your way, straight, and buy pigeon not from a lot of different places, different lines. 3, 4, 5 good pigeon from a good line with a long history, and then you started the pigeon sport. Not with 100, not with 200, maybe 10 or 20 maximum, and make your family. And I think this is the shortly way for the good success and for the good records.